Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. 99.9
KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, you know, they say don't feed the trolls when it comes to being on the internet. And there is one dude in general who is to me, a big troll.
Uh-oh.
And he's a high-profile guy.
Not me.
There were guys, actually, poor Vicky was working her ass off. People were posting on the KISW site spoilers to Avengers. They were doing it in very clever ways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was one of the first texts we read whenever it was, Friday morning. And so I already got the spoiler. I kind of still, one of the things I remember, the other one I don't, but I'm going to go into the movie and still enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, really, honest, I've gotten to the point where I just expect that things are going to be spoiled. So when it does get spoiled, I'm not going to get too upset about it. But I know some people get really pissed off if something is ruined for them.
Yeah, and frankly, I saw the spoilers that were put up that we kept taking down. It wouldn't have ruined the movie for me either, because I'm just not going to let somebody ruin myself. I don't care. It's like, all right, yeah, you told me that. I'm still going to go see the movie. Still going to love the hell out of it.
Right.
Yeah. And in this story, I'm not going to spoil anything. So I'm not going to say what Buffalo Bills running back LaShawn McCoy posted. But he did. He's
a well-known player.
Yeah. And this is what the sucky thing is that, there's a lot of geeks up in Western New York, because I used to live in Rochester. And so, big Bills fans up there. And University of Rochester. And so there's RIT. I mean, there are a lot of geeks. And I don't know, in that whole Western New York area, I am very surprised that he thought this was a good idea. He was lucky enough to actually be among the first to see Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
So he saw it Thursday. And a lot of us, like me, weren't going to see it until Friday. And so I guess he saw it early Friday morning. So for the folks like that, even still for folks like me seeing it Friday night, boy, what a jerk he was, because after he's seen it Friday morning, he went on Twitter and spoiled the movie for everybody.
And how?
Massive spoilers about the movie.
So it wasn't even like an inadvertent spoiler.
Oh, no.
He was intentionally trying to screw people over.
730,000 of his followers got the movie spoiled for them.
Okay.
That's a lot of people. And he was also clever enough, because people did block certain words on Twitter so that they wouldn't see anything.
You could set that up on like your settings where you can mute things and pick certain certain words and keywords, and they won't show up on your timeline.
So he made typos so that pretty much you still would know what he was saying, but it would get past the filters that people set up.
They should just trade him for this.
People are, there are people. There's a trend. He's trending on. He trended on Twitter, and not in a good way. He was also the subject of a Change.org petition calling for the Bills to terminate his contract. And wouldn't
that be funny if they cut him because the owner of the Bills is a huge Avengers fan?
They do cut players for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
He's a cancer in the locker room. How about, he's a cancer to the movie community. And as of late last night, he hadn't deleted the tweets or apologized.
Huh? He doesn't care, man. He's rich. No, what does he care?
Yeah, he's already moved on to posting Game of Thrones stuff.
See, I understand that we have the right and freedom of speech. People are always going to stand behind that, the ones that always like to ruin things. But I would ask you, why do you like to ruin things for people? It's like something that, people love. Why would you ruin it?
And reading it looks like he was just really like there a lot of emotions were going on when it was happening. So maybe it wasn't him doing it on purpose.
But they said that he was purposely misspelling things.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, Rev. Why would he do that?
And they were misspelled in a way that if you had those filters, it would go straight through them.
Yeah, so that's the thing that bothers me is had he just kept them, spelled correctly, at least some people could have been spared the spoil.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny you bring that up because there's I guess this happened at a wrestling show. a lot of bad guys try and find ways to get heat. In other words, to get the fans to hate them in the crowd. So you're always trying to find things, whether you make fun of the city you're in, you pick a couple people in the crowd, you start being a jerk to them, you make fun of their favorite wrestler, whatever it may be. So obviously in different levels of wrestling, there's different types of heels and heat and all that. So it's an independent show somewhere. I'm not sure where. But one of the bad guys on the card came out and cut a promo, got on the mic and started talking and spoiled the Avengers. And that was his way of trying to get the boos from the crowd.
Wow.
But apparently it's just been backfiring. They're like, yeah, dude, that's not even cool. Like, nobody thought it was cool. It wasn't like bad guy cool kind of a thing to do. And then someone just texted in saying, hey, did you hear about the dude in Hong Kong who came out of the theater and started yelling the spoiler? Or spoilers.
Of course he did.
And a bunch of people just beat him up till he was bloody.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you hate to say somebody deserves it, but boy, oh boy, what do you expect when you're just a jerk to people? I mean, you're just a jerk to people, and you go out into a mob and act like a jerk. What do you expect?
Yeah, I'm looking, man in Hong Kong reportedly beaten outside cinema for leaking the end game.
Oy, oy, oy.
And there he is just being treated by somebody.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't advocate that, but I'm smart enough to know that if I'm going to go out there and be intentionally cruel to people, you know what? They may be mad at me and may want to be cruel to me back. That's kind of how it works, what causality, every action there's a reaction, theory of relativity, whatever the hell it is.
You're free to say whatever you want, but then there's also repercussions.
Yeah, so it's not really free. Speech sometimes is not really free. There is a cost.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his Twitter feed, though, and I feel like he's...
The guy from Hong Kong?
No, Sean.
Oh.
I feel like he spells stuff wrong. Not on.
So he's just not intelligent.
Yeah, he spells no wrong, KNO, as opposed to adding the W to it. There, he puts ting instead of thing. Like, I think he just tweets out really quick without spell checking.
Kind of like BJ.
Yeah,
smashing fingers against it or using the voice to text.
So I don't know if he did it intentionally. Like, he might have just not known how to spell the name.
Excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, look, I don't know when he got the memo, and maybe now it's finally time to get the memo. At some point, we all got the memo that we shouldn't, as soon as we have an opportunity, talk about a show. There are people that got mad at me. I don't know when it started on this program, but, for years, we got to talk about a show that was on television the day after it was on television. Like the next day I came in, I could go, hey, how about that Game of Thrones last night? Then eventually I got the memo from angry people. We don't watch television at the same time anymore. Everything is time shifted. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I think things changed when it came to on-demand abilities, whether it be DVR, internet on demand, whatever it may be. You don't need to watch it when it's happening live. You don't have to set an appointment, make sure you watch it like it used to be, unless you had like a really cool VHS recorder and you could set a timer. But you know what I mean? So now it's like you can watch things at your own convenience. So that's when people get all pissy because you talked about something before they got to see it.
Well, I need to then ask your permission, Steve, because I know that you like to watch whenever the Grammys are out, or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Billboard Awards, I think, are Wednesday. We just set the DVR for it.
Okay, there you go.
Very exciting.
Well, can I tell this story about Brian May? Because he was, of Queen. He's, of course, one of the Queen dudes, and you might know about him just because of Bohemian Rhapsody, if not because he was in a great band. He told a funny story while inducting Def Leppard into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But again, because that's coming out. Do they have a recording of that? We're going to get to watch.
I completely forgot that the Hall of Fame ceremony thing was being shown.
Oh, there we go.
So I'm not spoiling anything for anybody.
Well, no, I mean, May or something.
We already know who made it into the Hall of Fame and stuff, but I think they showed it over the weekend on HBO. I think that's why now it's out. The ceremony already happened a while ago, and you just got to watch it over the weekend.
That's how that usually goes.
Yeah, April 27th is when so that was this weekend.
Yeah, okay. But I wasn't sure if you had a chance to watch it yet, which is why would I be spoiling anything?
I didn't even DVR it, man.
Okay,
so I just got to hope that they're putting it on their on demand. But no, I don't care. I only honestly, when I watch these things, I fast forward through all the bull crap and I just watch the performances.
Well, this is interesting. I mean, obviously, we know that Def Leppard has had some tragedy when it comes to fire. No, not fire. Actually, one of their guys lost his arm. Yes,
from a car accident.
Well, there's a tragedy that was also a possibility for Brian May, but thanks to Joe Elliott, that the tragedy involving fire didn't happen to Brian May.
I went backstage to see him afterwards. They invited me, and the boys say, will you come up and play with us tomorrow night? And Joe warned me. He said, watch out for the fireworks at the end, Brian. Just be careful. But I'm at the end. We're up behind the drums, and there's a kind of chasm in front of us where the fire's about to come out. I have no idea. And I'm like giving it all this, and Joe's going, Bri! And I'm thinking he's just kind of appreciating me, Anyway, this huge sheet of flame comes up in front of me, and just in time, Joe's dragged me out of it. So early on in our career, Joe Elliott saved my life.
That's a life goal, though, to be on stage rocking when fire is going on around you. Like, I don't want something to happen to me like James Hetfield when the fire hit him.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely don't want that. But like, so drums would be the way to do it because you're in one set spot, so you don't have to worry about walking over a flame. But could you imagine being on stage just rocking and flames are flying around you? How great would that be?
It would be great. I know that flames are very hot too, though. So it's like,
so I hear they're fire.
Yeah. So, I mean, but hotter than you expect. For some reason, I see movies and you think, oh, okay, you can get close to that, but you really can't. I mean, flames are super, super hot.
You learn that going to a Rammstein show because you'll be back by the soundboard and you can feel the flames all the way back there.
Dude, I mean, it happens at a lot of different shows. I mean, I've even been to like White River Amphitheater when like a band, like maybe like, like a Disturbed type of a band, and there's flames going on and I'm in the lawn and you feel that heat.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they must be just pitting out on stage.
Oh, dude, it's going to be a beating.
Right?
I don't know how they do it because it's so darn hot near flames. And that's why TV shows and movies have really, like, they desensitize us to actually, like, you know what, that guy would be melting too. You know what I mean? There's a dragon coming by, he's breathing flames. Pretty much everybody in a 2-mile radius should be burned.
Or you see a guy with a flaming sword and you're like, oh, that's not so bad. And you're like, no, that's going to be very warm around for everybody.
Yeah, and some metal on his hand. Like, that won't burn him.
Yeah, right.
So what would you, for me, I think that's my life goal when it comes to like a concert experience. I want to be on stage with pyro. Is there anything you'd want to do? Like a life goal, like
I want to be in the crowd while you're melting it on stage with pyro.
I respect.
That's why I'd like to be there.
Yeah. Watch me burn to death. That's
nice. Yeah, well, I mean, it's if you've got to go, Steve. I mean, that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
See, for me, like being on stage, that sort of thing, I would want to be on stage at a Snoop Dogg concert because he brings strippers on stage, and it's just a bunch of people. It's like a dance club right on stage.
People are throwing joints at you.
Yes,
bro. That was one of the when we did the Steel Panther shows. Yep. There was nothing cooler than as we're walking off the stage, people are just throwing joints at us.
Congratulations.
Damn.
Right. I'm like, what is going on?
I was on the wrong stage.
Yeah. The wrong stage?
Yeah, because I had hot dogs thrown at me at a comedy show. That's not joints.
I hope you catch them, you can eat them.
That's a good point. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's delightful.
What about you, Danny?
I went to an Offspring concert a while back, and they took an intermission on stage. So they brought out these big, huge inflatables, and they just sat back and had some cocktails while like the fans were just hanging out while they played like one of their songs on there. And that's kind of what I was like. I want to be an audience to the audience. I think that would just be so much fun. Like
just sit there and chill out on stage while everyone's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah,
that's so weird that they did that.
Yeah, they had this big fat guy come out in a thong, and he just danced, and it was awesome. It was so great.
No, I'm out.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. I always wanted to be like, doing a one-man comedy show, whatever, that kind of thing, and being on like a big stage. Like a lot of, I mean, I've got to introduce a lot of comics that do that, but they're the ones that are getting all the laughs.
How big?
Ooh.
Tens of thousands?
Yeah. Yeah. Like when somebody comes to town is really good. Like I'm blanking on anybody that would come to town.
Like Gallagher.
Oh, yeah, like Gallagher, yeah. I mean, I never...
Kevin Hart.
See, Kevin Hart. Yeah, see, but I never expected that. See, until Sam Kinison and Dice Clay started doing that years ago, usually you could maybe get like a Paramount Theater was the biggest venue you'd ever think you'd be in. But, yeah, and an HBO special kind of an audience where you'd have that kind of a crowd and you get double-decker action.
And you don't want to just introduce them. You want to, like, do a little bit of a set.
That's what I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a stand-up comic, and so that was my dream, being on stage, being the guy, the entire crowd loving just me because of my act. And I was on stage, there was an entire crowd, but they weren't loving me because of my act. I experienced that many times.
So he says, Steve, you could do it at Pain. Pyro will be present.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, now how do we get it so I can play drums? I mean,
that's the key.
I think I've already tapped that well, and it's now dry.
You're right.
It's Stone Temple Pilots, who didn't have pyro. Now looking back on, I'm very disappointed in them.
You now have you have a resume though. Now you can say, look, you guys want to like do something cool locally and get a guest drummer up.
Like, I played with Stone Temple Pilots,
and I did a good job
for about maybe 5 seconds. I was on their Wikipedia page when a fan did that, which is pretty funny.
Exactly. Let's do a great local thing here, and every band coming to town should have you play drums for.
But then I like, do you have pyro? And they're like, no. I'm like, actually, I take it back.
Yeah, never mind.
Play drums with you guys.
Yeah, you don't have pyro. I'm sorry. Does Alice in Chains have pyro? I don't think they do. Right? Yeah. So
they're not playing Pain in the Grass.
No, but I'm saying you turn them him down.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Because same
definitely.
thing. Alice in Chains be like, "Hey, would you like?" No, you
Rob
don't pyro.
Zombie's probably got pyro.
Yeah,
I would
okay.
imagine. I bet Volbeat. I know. Remember right before Metallica played at CenturyLink Field, Avenged Sevenfold right before them, and I was waiting to do the stage announcement for Metallica, so I'm waiting like kind of by the side, and I'm right by one of those big fire cannons, and boy, man, that when you don't know what's happening, and then all of a sudden you feel it, you're like, why did things? Am I having a hot flash? Am I that nervous? And you realize, no, it's just a giant freaking flame right in front of me.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
You could do it if Blink-182 ever comes back. They release their set list, and they actually put it on their set list when they have flames, so that way they don't get burned alive.
Well, that makes sense because of what happened with Travis Barker.
Yeah, right.
Because he got into that plane accident and he got burned.
Yeah.
I mean, a big chunk of his body was burnt.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's okay. So I get that they want to have like little notes that say, "Hey, Travis,
It's happening."
yeah." Because I think I heard. I can't remember who he was interviewed by, but he says he's there's a little bit of a PTSD for him when it comes to fire.
I would think so.
So he had to get past that so that he could do it during the live show.
I can't believe they would do fire anymore because I think
I'd
he'd be
imagine
done.
he was okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
well, I know he was okay,
Right.
but I think I would be like, I'm done if I were Travis. I'm like, yeah, no more fire.
Yeah, do you even pitch that to him, or is it Travis saying, "Hey guys, we used to have fire. We should still do that. Don't hold back because of what happened"?
I think it has to come from him because the first thing I would do is stop the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, as an empathetic bandmate, I'd be like, dude, here's what we're going to do because how you got to know there's some PTSD from some guy that got burned.
yes.
Yeah. Well, good for him because I mean I feel like that's the thing to do in life is to conquer your fears, which obviously that would be a big one. So good for him.
Yeah, I think it was the Joe Rogan podcast, if I remember correctly.
Sounds about
He did a really cool interview with Joe.
All right, so I have a question for you. If $30,000 was spilled on a highway, would you return the money?
Yeah.
Well, this did happen, and we'll tell you what happened at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. The great state of Michigan, they're asking the public to return the money that spilled onto a highway last week. According to the Department of Public Safety, a man spilled a cardboard box containing $30,000 on northbound US 31 in Michigan.
Can we ask, I'm sure they don't have that information, but what is going on with this guy that he has $30,000 in a cardboard box?
Yeah, that's kind of lame. Very suspicious. Officers temporarily closed lanes of the highway and were helped by witnesses who picked up the money. The police put a Facebook post up thanking two 17-year-old men that returned $630 and a woman that returned almost $4,000.
So where's the rest of that?
Yeah, there's a lot more.
$20-something thousand.
There's a lot more missing.
All right, if that happens to you, do you return it?
Nope.
No? Is it case by case? Because I'll be honest, like if it was just like an armored truck, money spills out on the freeway, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. But when it's somebody's money, I always worry, like, what is going on? What do you need that $30,000 for? Am I screwing over his life?
Oh, see, with the armored truck thing, I'm afraid that they're going to have cameras on the truck, and they're going to be able to keep track of it, or the bills are marked, or they know the serial numbers, or something like that.
So what you're saying is Steve actually cares about, the person that gets impacted their life. You just care if you get caught.
Yeah.
Okay.
I care about the people. I don't care about the man.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Fight the man. You're like my dad. My dad didn't care about the man. The younger me would have kept the money. No doubt about it. This version of me, I would give it back in every situation because I just feel like somebody probably needs this more than I do.
Once again, I'm just saying, if you are dumb enough to carry $30,000 with you when you're on the highway and then lose it, you deserve to lose it.
I mean, it's a solid point, Danny. He didn't secure his money.
Right.
Yeah, that's a load that he really needed to
How
secure.
did it spill out of his car?
Yeah, all of this is just ridiculous.
Lock the hatchback, buddy.
Right?
I make sure I lock it with my gym bag in the back. I'm afraid of losing my gym bag.
But it's got to be a drug deal, right?
You think?
He's got to be some involved in drugs in some way. Who else is using money like that?
Maybe he's going to a car dealership. He's buying a car with cash.
Here with a brand new car.
I don't know. I mean, there's some people that have, dude,
$30,000?
I don't know what you need $30,000 in cash for.
Right.
Yeah, you get a cashier's check.
Yeah.
That's what you do. I mean, if you get that kind of money and you're going to go buy a car, you go, all right, I'm going to go get a cashier's.
But what's more fun, showing up with a box full of cash or a simple piece of paper that has a number on it, BJ?
Dude, at some point, if you walk into any place with a box full of cash, you better be prepared to make a purchase. Imagine the guy going, you know what? I'm taking all my cash. I'm walking out. I got to feel like someone's going to make a call. Hey, Jimmy the Idiot's got a box full of cash.
Dude, my grandpa would do that. When he would go buy a car, he would go in, like, this is many, many years ago, but still, even nowadays, like $20,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
He would go in with, like, whatever the equivalent at that time, like $20,000 or so in cash.
Still, that's a lot of money in cash to have on you.
And it was almost like a game for him, because this is back in the haggling days.
Yeah.
So he would go in there and say, I'll give you $20,000 right now for this car. And they're like, no, sir, it's worth $27,000. He'd pull out the cash and go, I guess my money's good elsewhere. And start walking. And usually somebody would be like, sir,
That's
wait.
a power move right there.
Yeah, it is.
Straight up. That's awesome.
That's what Grandpa, not Miggs, because he was the other side of the family.
Okay. Grandpa Nutmegs.
Yeah, Grandpa D.
Yeah. Grandpa D! Yeah. So you'd give it back. Danny wouldn't give it back. Rev would give it back if it was from an armored truck, but not if it was from a regular.
Yeah,
I'm case by case,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're case by case now.
Well, I said armored truck I'm keeping.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. If it's case they're listening.
Yeah.
No, I'm keeping it if it's
Yeah,
from
you
the
know
man.
they got cameras, and maybe the money's also traceable.
Oh.
You know, that's the other thing when it's off of an armored truck. I got to be thinking it's somewhat traceable.
Somebody says I have a shoebox full of $5,500 and $1 bills. Well, that's good if you go to a lot of gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah, why?
long? Gosh.
Is that just a way to save money? Like people just take extra all their singles and throw it in a box like I do with my quarters?
That's not a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, I do that with all my change, and someday I'm going to send Sarah to the Coinstar machine and cash them all in.
Added boy. Yeah. I keep the dollars in my glove compartment box for those random purchases I need to make for Ricky Henderson. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
glove
the value
box.
deals.
You got to help him out, yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
way
gotta help a
you
brother.
don't need a credit card involved in this transaction with McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's.
Untraceable.
I always keep a $20 bill in my little wallet, and it's like folded up as emergency money, and then I always forget that I have it, and then end up not getting what I need.
Yeah.
Like I'll go home and I'll go, God dang it, I got to go to the bank, and then go, oh wait, I had this. It's like I don't know why I keep it in my wallet because I never remember I have it.
You know how weird is this? So I just checked. I got a text from my wife, and the first thing I see, it says Burger King. I'm like, crap, she's listening. No, she just said that I guess Burger King's going to release an Impossible Whopper with a vegan Whopper.
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's news to my wife.
And apparently news to you as well.
You can have a Whopper and not have to worry about not eating meat.
Your wife just texted you that?
Yes.
Did she think you were going to use that on the air?
No, she's just excited.
Okay, dude, your wife's protocol. You don't have my protocols.
No, there are no rules when it comes to texting. All of my friends and family can text me whenever, BJ.
Yeah, no, my wife knows. Do not text me when I'm on air because it distracts me, and I look at the phone and go, "Oh, great, you're. This is what you want to talk
But
about."
think about it. This is a great timing. We talk about Burger King, and she says, "Yeah, they're going to release it. Hopefully, they release them in Washington." I would have to try that if they do.
Well, it was great timing, except like Danny said, we did it already.
Not everyone hears every freaking second of the show, including myself.
Yeah, that's what you're right about that.
Said it yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Exciting.
Is there anything else we should repeat from today or some previous shows you might have
when
missed?
did we do it? When did we talk about that? Tell me, BJ.
What, do I have a date for anything? I mean, what do I know the date
was
from
it
anything?
today?
Listen, don't yell at me. Rev's the one that said
Rev.
we did it before. I'm just a bystander.
I'm looking it up. I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I'm an innocent bystander. Don't make me say
That's
it.
exciting, man. Times are changing. Vegans can now eat fast food.
Okay, look. It's nice for your wife. I wouldn't call it exciting.
Well, it is when you're living a life with a vegan.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's,
this means Steve
so it's
gets
exciting for you so you could go to Burger King again.
Together.
All right.
As a team.
As a team. Team BK in the house.
right.
All right.
I went to Burger King yesterday. It was delicious.
Really? What'd you get?
I got a Whopper and the spicy nuggets because they have 10 for $1.49 right now, and it's amazing.
Did you get fries as well, or did you just replace the fries with the spicy nuggets?
No, I go get fries at McDonald's, and then I go get a Whopper.
Huh.
Yeah, he doesn't like Burger King
I don't like
fries.
Burger King fries that much. I like their chicken fries. Their chicken fries are fantastic, but
Yeah,
I
they are.
love McDonald's.
Dude, I had a weird... So we went to McDonald's. My wife was really hungry, and it was going to be a minute until we got to our house. She's like, you know what? Let's just get some French fries from McDonald's. I'm like, in.
Oh, okay.
So I go into the McDonald's that we were by, right? And I walk in, and there's this weird kid, and he just gets in my face with his burger. And he's like, puts it in my face. I'm like, why are you showing me your burger?
Oh, boy.
And he goes, look, man, no meat. And he opens it up, and there's no meat in there.
I love this kid. This kid I love. This kid this kid's going to be a great kid.
No, I'm standing there kind of confused, and he just keeps going, and he leaves.
Yeah.
Why did he do that to me? I have no idea.
Unless he wanted to have a vegetarian burger and they made him a burger with no meat.
Like he was really happy about it, or is he just shocked?
Like a cheese,
he had
a grilled cheese.
He had everything in the burger except for the meat.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was complaining that there was no meat in his burger.
Oh.
Or
See,
was he excited or was he pissed?
He looked high.
Oh. How old was this kid then?
It's like probably like in his teens.
Oh, it was a kid. I was like, I thought it was like a little kid that did it.
No.
Oh, he was high.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, man, no meat. You don't know if that's like a good trip or a bad trip for that
just
kid.
like, this is why I go through the drive-thru, so I don't have time. And then as I'm walking out, I almost slipped because I don't know what the hell happened, but my feet, I just kept going. And I'm like looking around like there's no wet floor signs. I was like, damn, man, if I would have I should have taken the spill.
You should have taken the spill, dude.
Get some cash.
Cash or at least all those fries.
And I'm walking out and some lady's yelling at me as I'm going back to my car, all for a freaking small order of fries.
I mean...
And she's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's the lady that works there. And she's like, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Thinking because like I just slipped. She saw me slip.
Oh.
Now I'm struggling.
Why?
Because I have information that I don't think that your wife knows.
What's that?
I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you because then it ruins your opportunity to go to that place once in a while.
Is there meat in the French fries or something?
Last time I checked, Sarah. I don't know if Sarah's done any updates because Sarah was the vegetarian police for us for the longest time.
Okay,
Sarah, how are the McDonald's French fries? Are they still doing the meat stuff with them? She doesn't know.
What do you mean meat stuff?
They would cook them in something that had like a meat base in it, like the tallow or something.
Oh,
see, that's the thing.
My wife's like she's vegan, but she's not going to like lose her mind over that.
She's a good vegan.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Well, because like she has one rule when it comes to like that she doesn't care if it's vegan or not, and that's the waffle cones at Molly Moon.
Oh, good. All right. Well, same thing with fries then, because you got to have those delicious McDonald's fries, and I don't know how they cook them anymore.
McDonald's fries aren't vegan.
Yeah, if you Google it, it says they contain beef fat.
Oh gosh,
that's why they're so good.
Well, according to
I mean, I really believe that it's just like it's the same thing with McDonald's with the way they do their Coke machines. Like Coke doesn't ever taste any better than a McDonald's for some reason, and then we found out it's because they do something with the Coke machines.
They put beef fat.
Yeah, they put beef tallow in there as well.
Yeah. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can't get better Coke or fries than McDonald's.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, I'm not telling her, but she's not going to go crazy about something like that.
Well, she probably is listening, right?
No.
Oh, she's just
at work right now.
Oh, she's texting you.
Just literally,
you know how many arguments I would have with my wife right now if she was your wife was my wife? There would be a big blowout going home tonight.
Well, you guys have arguments over the dumbest stuff. That's why she lives in California.
Yeah, that's true.
See, her and I, like, she could text me at any point in the day, and it's not going to bother me.
Don't text me ever.
Unless she texts me, you suck.
I have friends that do it, and as soon as the show is over, I'm like,
why does it bother you that much?
Because I'm working. This is my job. I don't want to have anything vibrating. Because texting to me means there's an emergency. Something's wrong.
See, well, when mine vibrates, it means I just got a text message. It doesn't mean there's an emergency.
Yeah, see,
everybody texts at any given... I get texts sometimes at 11 at night.
See, I hate that too, and I give people I scream at people, go, look, I keep my phone on so that I can hear the ring in case there's an emergency, instead of your stupid text, know my schedule. Mm-hmm. If you know me enough to have my home phone, to have my cell phone number, you know I work early in the morning and go to sleep late.
See, I tell them,
or vice versa.
I'm like, you can text me. I'm not going to answer back because I'm asleep. Like, I don't hear it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
My wife woke me up with a text, and I was so mad at her because it was a stupid text.
What was it about?
Oh, I can't even tell you it was that stupid. Was
she telling you that there's Impossible Burgers available at Burger King?
It might have been that stupid, yeah. That was a big argument. Because I called her back. It was 10:30 at night.
Okay.
I am fast asleep, and I get the big text, and I'm like, who the hell is texting me? And it's her. Like, she's got Facebook. She knows the rules. Email me, Facebook me. Don't text me unless it's an emergency.
I love that your wife has to follow these rules, too.
Oh, I called her up. I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call you up at 3:30 this morning when I get up. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to text you.
Oh, I do that to if my friends text me at midnight, I text them back as soon as I wake up. It's like, look, man, you're going to text me at midnight. I'm texting you at 3 in the morning when I get up. Like, it's all bets are off at that point.
34 years of marriage. She knows the rules. Just because she's living in another state doesn't mean she doesn't know the rules. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, it's like she can't claim negligence or ignorance. All right, on Friday, Steve did get this one wrong.
Which mythological creature is half eagle, half lion?
A liger.
No.
Tots.
Unicorn.
No.
Menopause.
A menopause?
Menopause, a
No.
creature.
Yep.
What was the right answer?
Griffin. We were looking for Griffin. Yeah, not Stewie or Peter, just a regular Griffin. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.